Ayo Bladrins, welcome back to your new Lightning Quick Repairs episode. Today we're going to be taking a look at this Xiaomi Redmi Note 12, and it's been a while since I've recorded. I've just been extremely busy working and I'm at my home, so you can see a little bit of a mess around the table. I tried my best to clean it up, but yeah, I've just been working hard getting the office set up where I'm going to be conducting my repairs and trying to get it all established so that I can properly start filming there and repairing for customers. Now, this was one customer that came in today and he had a Xiaomi Redmi Note 12 with an extremely smashed display, and it's got its original screen protector as well, which now it looks a whole lot cleaner. But I've never repaired a Xiaomi Redmi Note 12 before, so this is my first time. So let's see how it's going to be. So it looks like there is a seam. Yeah, there is a seam right there. So I'm assuming this back glass, actually no, it's plastic. This back plastic comes off. So I've got my heat plate over here. So I'm going to let that cook for a little bit. And I've got the actual screen, the brand new screen right here that we're going to be replacing it with. This is an OLED panel because the phone actually has an OLED panel as well, so I tried to get my hands on the best quality one. And oh, for the love of God, of course I have to glue the screen down to the frame. I hate doing that because you risk actually damaging the panel itself. Okay, so we've got the back panel heated up quite a bit now, so let's see if we can lift this. And I can hear it starting to lift, so let's just start prying away. There we are. There we go. So now let's just use our plastic pick to go around. There we are, and that's our back panel removed. So let's just get our Phillips bit and let's start removing all the screws. Okay. And now that all the screws have been removed, what we can do is we can remove this. So let's use our pry tool once again, and let's put it in one side and try remove this. There's a screw hiding right there. There we go. So that's our camera glass or camera lens removed, and now it shows us another 1, 2, 3 screws. So let's just remove that. And now that our screws have completely been removed, what we can do is we can remove the SIM tray. So let's just do that. There we go. And I think there might be a SIM. No, there isn't. Okay, that's good. So I think that's the fingerprint sensor right here. So I've just disconnected that, and what we can do from here on out is remove the mid frame. So what I usually do is I put my metal pry tool in between the SIM slot and the screen, and then I start running the pry tool down, because that is a nice area to start off with because it bends. So you can see we've already got it open. There we go. And take your time with this, you don't want to snap the frame. There we go. There we go. That just fell off there. Nice. That came off very, very easily. And that is the battery right there. So let's disconnect that. So let's take out this motherboard at the top here. So I'm just going to use my finger now to disconnect these connections, especially these cameras, which I'm happy to see they're very easy to get to and easy to take out as well. So there's one, there's two, and there's 3. And there's the front camera as well, and it's shielded by a little bit of tape. So I'm just going to use my tweezers to just disconnect that, which now I have. And now we could just peel off. There we go. And make sure you disconnect the antenna cable as well. So there's that cable there. Bloody hell. Oh, it works. I was panicking for my life right there. So I can't really get in the proper shot, but you can see the Xiaomi logo. Oh my god. So it turns out it was just a little connection problem and I was just fiddling around with it, but yes, it works. Xiaomi Hyper OS, nice. And the OLED looks good as well, but I'm going to test out the screen, make sure touches are working, and then we can continue on with the repair. Yep, screen is all working. Fantastic, and I think it's 120 Hz as well, which is cool. But now that we've verified the screen is working, let's turn this off. There we go. So you can attack it from this very corner right here. There's a nice little gap for you to slot a pry tool into, so that's what I've just done here. And now this motherboard comes out nicely, and there's a bit of thermal paste as well, so let's just keep this motherboard facing upwards like that. So we've got the battery here, and there's a pull tab, there's pull tabs on it, which is quite cool. So let's see how we do this. There's A, B and C. Bloody hell. Jeez, that went flying, didn't it? Okay, well, at least that came off somewhat clean. Oh my goodness. And that's all good there. That battery is intact as well, which I'm quite shocked about. But my lord, is that one hell of a pull tab. We need to take this out because we need to use that in the new housing. Let's remove this. It's the cable for the subboard to the main board, so let's disconnect that. And now we have to remove the actual subboard, so let's disconnect the display cable. There's that. And let's disconnect the second antenna, or the first antenna, but the second half of the cable. And let's actually remove this cable, so there's that. And we can now use a pry tool to remove the actual charging board. There we go. There we go, that's our charging board. And we can remove our coin style vibration motor as well. There's an arrow pointing downwards, so I'm assuming it's asking to pull it outwards. So let's try just like that. There we go, that works. There we go, you guys can see that as well. There we go. Be careful, I don't want to rip it. Awesome, we got it out. Nope, not just yet. There we go, now we got it. Nope, now we got it. So let's get our new, actually, no we're not done just yet. I just realized we need to take this actual screen off the frame. Oh my lord. Okay, off to the heat plate it goes again then, but this time we have to leave it on there for a very long time so we can heat up this screen evenly and we can lift it off nicely. Now it's going to be a bit long because this glass is going to get everywhere, so I would put tape on it, but not now as obviously the glue would melt. So I'm just going to leave it on the heat plate now and I will see you guys in a few. Okay, it looks like the screen has cooked enough, so time to rip off this old screen. It's going to be quite messy, so if you don't like glass, then you might want to wear some gloves and protect yourself, but because I'm used to it, I could not give a shit. So let's just get this sorted, shall we? So you can see I'm prying the screen up while I'm sliding the tool in, but I think I need to apply just a little bit more heat. So I've got my tool in there, but I don't think, and I'm cracking the screen on the inside, so yeah, I need more heat on this one. Yeah, you get ready to burn some hands. So now let's get my suction cup. I've put it on here where it's not cracked, because if you put it on a cracked area of the screen, it will not, ouch, it will not grip properly, and this is actually burning my fingers. Bloody hell, get under the fucking screen. There we go, got it. And I'm gonna use a metal tool because it's thin. It's, ouch, I'm just burning my hands now. It's a thin blade, so it should be able to cut through this all easy. There we go, yep, you can see it's starting to come apart now. Ouch. There we are. There we go, look at that, there we are. Right, and we could just pull away the old screen. Fantastic, that came off a lot cleaner than I thought. And annoyingly, the frame cracked a little bit, but that's nothing major. What I've done is I've just removed that part so it doesn't stick out anymore. And that should be fine. That's a bit of a shame, but oh well, it is what it is. And now what we have to do is we have to remove the excess shards of glass. So this is going to be a bit annoying because glass, as I said, will get everywhere, but that's okay. This has to be done. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so all glue has been removed around the edges, so now it's looking quite clean and quite good. So we have to flip this over, and what I want to do is I want to put this phone back together and then glue the screen in, just so that when we work on this side and the screen is installed, we don't put pressure and damage the display. So this rubber piece fell out, so this goes in here. So you can see it's a little rubber grommet thing. There we go. So that goes in just like that there. So let's put this phone back together. We can get our power button flex and we can put that back where it was. We can put the motherboard back in place. We'll put this charging port back in. No, we can put the vibration motor first back in. That now sits back inside just like that, and we can put our charging port back in place just like that. So we can now get our flex cable to connect the motherboard to the charging port board. There we go, and we can stretch this cable out underneath and put it back down. So that's going just right here and just right here, and then you push it down and it lays flat. Amazing. So now that we've got the motherboard and everything back in place, we can put this speaker piece back inside just like that. There we go, and now the phone is starting to take shape very quickly. So what I want to do from here on out is glue this actual display in, and I think the speaker would fall out, so okay, forget that. Let's get our display, and in order to glue this in, we need to use B7000. We need to apply glue to the very edge of this display where the bezel is. So you're gonna only have what, like a millimeter or two to play with, but that's what's good about liquid glue. Right now that the reflection is gone, you can see I didn't apply glue where the speaker grill would go, and that is because when the glue dries, you don't want it to accidentally fill the holes of the speaker mesh, or you don't want it to block the sound of the speaker mesh, and that will be a very big problem because you only have one shot to do this, and taking the screen back off will result in you completely destroying the display. So now that we have put glue on the screen, we can remove this, and we can take our phone, slide the connector back in. There we are. And we can just seat the display back in place just there and just there. And now the screen is seated in, and that's our screen installed. So yeah, it fits really nicely. That is perfect. And of course you're gonna have to apply pressure with this, but don't go excessive, as you don't want to damage the ribbon cables behind the display, and you don't want to damage the display itself. So now that we've got our screen installed, right, we can put the screen flat down on the table and continue working on the phone from the inside. So let's connect this display first things first to protect that connector. That's all connected in there now, and let's put this back inside. There we are. Awesome. So now you can see that's connected. I just had to take the actual board out just to get a bit more slack on that cable, but there we go. So we also need to make sure we get our earpiece, so let's get that in there. And while it's out, we can actually just use a toothbrush and just clean off all the little bits of dust on there. So let's put that in right here, and that's installed just there. I've got myself a little rubber blower thingy, so I'm just gonna blow where the camera would usually go. So that's our front camera, so let's plug that back in there. There we go, that's back in there, and that clicked in nicely too. Plug that in there. That's one, that's two, and that is three. There is our battery. So we need to put this back in properly. So let's just move the phone out of the way, and let's get this right here. I'm gonna put that in just there. And now we should be able to give it another test. Let's put the speaker back in. Yay! Amazing stuff. Right, so I'm happy with that. There we go. Yay! So the screen is fully working. Nice. And the screen looks good too. Awesome. So let's just flip this phone back over. Okay, so after double checking everything, after making sure everything works, what I have done now is I've just put everything mostly back together. I've taken out the charging port just so that I could make sure I've got the screen properly aligned. I have to apply some more glue in certain areas, but that's okay because it was lifting a little bit. So what I did was I just lifted it with my finger a bit, put some more glue, pushed it back down. So I'm just gonna leave this to sit for a while, and then we can finish putting the phone back together, test it out, and that will be a repair. Here we go. There we go. Buttons are clicking. Good. Awesome. Let's connect the fingerprint sensor back up. There we go. And let's turn this on. First screws I will put back in are the three that we took out that was underneath the camera. So I believe that was this one. There we go. And that's basically our phone mostly back together. We have to remove all of this old adhesive that we see right here. So if I put this down on the table, we can use a little scraping tool like this one, and we could just slowly but surely get all of this off, because if we use liquids it will make a complete mess, and you don't want that because you want this coming off nice and clean. So you can see I'm slowly peeling it back and it leaves it clean. There we go. That's it. So now I'm just going to use my toothbrush to get rid of any little bits of dust and dirt. But now that we've got the phone sorted, I'm going to leave it on charge, right, so the battery can charge up a little bit, and we're just going to work on the actual back panel itself. So you can see there's a few marks on there where I kind of scraped with my fingernail, but that's no problem because it doesn't show up on the other side. Other side looks just as good as it did before. I have double-sided tape that I can use on phones, and this is quite strong. So if I show you, because it's quite empty around here, especially on this bottom bit, for example, this top bit, and around here, I can cut it to size and manage to get a nice amount of adhesive around here. So let's do that. So I'm going to peel back quite a bit here. So what I can use is a pry tool, because it's sharp enough where it can cut the adhesive, but it's not sharp enough where it can just completely ruin it. So if I just kind of go like this, you can see it scores the adhesive perfectly. And would you look at that? That looks really good. And now if I'm careful, peel that off, go back here, move this adhesive out of the way, stick that right there. Look at that. Tell me that isn't amazing. There we go. Look at that. Tell me that doesn't look good. And with the help of some tweezers, you can peel the backing off. And let's do this. That's it. And look at that. Perfect. And I'm gonna press around the camera edge as well. Oh, that is amazing. And the phone is on. Look at that. And yes, there's still some adhesive around the edges, but after a little wipe, that will go. Obviously for now, I've got the best I can, but with some help of some really fine tweezers, I can put it around the edge of the housing, or actually the edge of the screen, and remove that last bit that's stuck to make it as clean as I can get it. But in the end, the screen is fully functional. We've done a good repair and everything looks awesome. And now, yes, I understand that bit broke a little bit, but I apologize for that. But in the end, the screen is repaired, and that's what was needing done originally, and that would not affect anything. You wouldn't even notice that, and I can't even feel that, to be honest with you. So let's get the SIM card tray and finish this repair by putting it back in. And that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching this Xiaomi Redmi Note 12 repair. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed this video and you repaired your Note 12 as well. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us on Lightning Quick Repairs. And we've got our email, we've got our contact details down below as well, available on WhatsApp if you want to message me. And I will see you guys in the next video.